Hey guys, I have an update for you, the latest news on pickup truck recalls. We usually don't do too many shows like this, but sometimes, once in a while, they kind of pile up and there's some important ones that I need to tell you about. Let's start with Chevrolet and GM trucks. This report comes to us thanks to gm-trucks.com. And I'm using this site because they have a few details about this particular recall. And this has to do with the roof actually splitting. This is on the new trucks, and it's also a stop sale, which means current trucks in production, certain ones that they have identified, there's a stop sale order on those, which means if a dealership has them in stock, they will need to be fixed before they're sold, and or they need to communicate this to the owners who already have these trucks in their hands. These are for brand new trucks. So what is this roof splitting thing? Well, it has to do with a seam where the roof of the truck cab meets the structural member right here and the door section around. And it has to do with this welding seam that's kind of in the middle, right here, where the two come together. It's usually covered with a trim piece, usually a plastic one, which I have a very similar one in my Chevy Colorado, and also heavy-duty GM trucks also have a plastic trim piece that covers the seam. So if you did have this problem, it would not be immediately clear. And according to this report, 3,067 vehicles, trucks are affected with this problem. So what they have found out, here's a close-up image of one of the trucks. You can actually see really thin crack, and actually it spreads a little bit along that seam, and it looks like it's the indentation where the metal may be a little bit too thin, and the exact problem is not quite, we don't have information on. There is no statement from General Motors related to this specific fix, but we do have a couple of up-close images here. And the fix has to do with actually drilling a couple of holes to kind of surround this crack and stop it from spreading, and also welding underneath to make sure the seam is closed so that it doesn't rust. And then they corrosion-proof this area and then repaint. So it's a considerable fix. But if you don't address that immediately, you'll get rust, you'll get weakened joint, weakened metal here. So it could be a concern for safety, and also, of course, water intrusion into the cab, which could lead to many other issues, maybe with your electrical system and such. So this is a quite important one, even though there are not a lot of vehicles affected, only about 3,067 as far as we know so far. But I wanted to put this out there because this is very important. And thankfully, General Motors is jumping on this immediately. They're not, delaying this at all. And there's a stop sale on these trucks to resolve this issue. But I wanted to bring up a couple of other items that recently came up. Let's switch to Ford right now. Ford, as of late July of this year, 2023, had a recall which affected a lot of vehicles, 870,701. So huge number of F-150s from between 2021 and 2023. And this recall had to do with unexpected activation of the electric parking brake. So many manufacturers, in fact, I think now all new pickups from 2023 and 2024 that we have tested at TFL truck now have electric parking brakes. Basically a button, usually a switch you pull up or down, or maybe something you press to activate the electric parking brake. And of course that puts the brake on usually in the rear axle of your pickup truck. But this issue had to do with it being activated unexpectedly even while driving. So it could cause, it could increase the risk of crash, according to the government, nhtsa.gov. By the way, if you're curious about if you're involved in a recall, you can very simply go to nhtsa.gov. It's a government website. Here it is, NHTSA, NHTSA, and you can click on recall, and you can actually put your VIN, your vehicle identification number, right there. So you could look up your exact vehicle, no matter truck or car, doesn't matter. Or if you're just curious, you can put a year and model of your vehicle. For example, Chevrolet Colorado is a truck I currently own, and it will spit out a report with some complaints, manufacturer communications, and recalls. And right now, my truck reports 0 recalls as of December 2023. So if you're curious about your truck, you can do this search. Now I wanted to point to another one. This is a 2023 Ford Super Duty, F-250 in this case, and 41,555 trucks were affected with left rear axle shaft may break recall. So apparently the 10.5-inch rear axle shaft, just one side of it, may not have been properly heat treated during manufacturing and could potentially break. So yeah, this is a considerable number of trucks involved in this recall. And of course, communications will go out to owners as soon as possible. This was from August 25th, 2023. But in my experience, owning several different pickup trucks and vehicles here at TFL Studios, it takes sometimes several weeks or months for actual physical communications to go out. So if you want to stay in touch with this, either your dealer can notify you when you go for maintenance there, or you could just go to this website and look something up if you're not sure. Now, Ram, this was just last week. Ram is recalling 142,000 Ram, mostly heavy-duty pickups, and also some Ram 1500 Classics. And let me see, where's the exact number? I think I had it here. 142,150 trucks, mainly heavy duties, so 2,500, 3,500, also some 4,500 and 5,500 cab chassis trucks are included in here. And this is a malfunctioning turn signal. So this is kind of a peculiar issue when apparently it has to do with using a turn signal which may not return after you go back straight. It may not deactivate by itself, or it could cause your high beam headlights to turn on. So kind of a weird little issue. It's small, but you got to take care of this because you don't want to be accidentally flashing oncoming traffic with your high beams and or having issues with your blinker, because it could be a safety issue. So that's why a recall was issued for this particular problem. This was very recent. Actually, this report was first published on November 28th, 2023. Now, I looked up the Tundra, Toyota Tundra for 2024 or recent Toyota Tundra trucks that are on sale now. And there's a recall that several of you emailed me about, so I wanted to bring this up. It doesn't affect a lot of vehicles, only 534. And it's a very, I would say, a simple fix, but an important fix. Apparently, certain trucks in the Southeast Toyota region, 2022 through 2024 Toyota Tundras, the load carrying capacity modification label states an incorrect load carrying capacity. So this modification label often has to do with additional accessories put on by the dealership at the point of sale on a brand new truck. So maybe side steps or some sort of a rack system, maybe a tonneau cover, maybe some other item that may add weight to the truck. And also the payload sticker has to be modified for that. But apparently for certain trucks, about 534 of them, that modification was done incorrectly. So Toyota is getting on top of it with their dealership distribution center right here. And it says communications will be mailed on January 5th, 2024, which is in a couple of weeks. So if you are affected by this, you'll get a notification and you can get it fixed. Just get a new sticker because it will be mailed the new modification label free of charge. So yeah, so you can actually do it yourself or go to a dealership to get the sticker reapplied. And this has to do with safety as well, because if you have the wrong sticker and you're assuming more payload than the actual truck has, and you overload the truck, let's say with your camping gear, maybe you're towing a trailer with it, and it could become a safety concern after you put the rest of your family into this truck and you're overloaded and you didn't know you were overloaded. So that's an important item as well. So that's most of the reviews, most of the news as far as recalls. And yeah, this definitely caught my eye. This roof issue could be pretty serious. Thankfully, only 3,000 trucks are affected. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions. Check us out at oldtfl.com, and also you can email us at ask@tfltruck.com. Thanks for joining.